Hello my dear children, welcome to Learner's Planet. Children, in the previous session we discussed about the Earth's layer. Now they are divided into 4 distinct layers: the Earth's crust, the mantle, the outer core and the inner core. Right? So in this session we will discuss more about Earth, that they are made up of different types of rocks. So in this session we will discuss about different types of rocks and somewhat about minerals. So let's start with this session with the introduction to minerals. Yes, children, our Earth's crust is made up of many elements. As you know that we discussed about the Earth's crust, it is the first layer which consists about 10 miles of rock and loose materials, right? And the crust is almost 3 times thick as it is under the ocean, and we also saw the picture, right? So it is the outermost layer of the earth. So we can say that it is made up of some or the other thing, right? Children, we will take one example over here, that if we bake a pie, then what ingredients would we use to bake it? In the same way, the ingredients which are used to make the earth's crust are also very complex. So we can say that the earth's crust is made up of the basic ingredients. Yes. So what these ingredients are termed as? They are called as elements, and that is why we say that our earth's crust is made up of many elements. So there are 90 known elements that exist in the earth's crust, and these elements combine with one another in a number of natural ways, creating such molecules known as minerals. So we can say that they are made up of elements, and when these elements combine in the natural way, they create some molecules, and these molecules are termed as minerals, right? So children, there are approximately 3,700 known minerals found in the earth's crust. As we discussed that there are 90 known elements that exist in the earth's crust, in the same way there are approximately 3,700 known minerals found in the earth's crust. So we can conclude that all the rocks are made up of the substances called as minerals, and we use these rocks and minerals in our day-to-day life. So let's discuss about some of the minerals which we use in our daily life. Yes, the minerals which we use in our daily life are diamond, fluorite, graphite, talc, quartz, etc. Right? So let's see that how, in which way we use these minerals. Like diamond. Diamond is used in cutting tools, blades and beautiful gemstones, which are then worn as jewelry. Then fluorite is also a mineral which is used in pottery, ceramics and plastics, right? And graphite, as you know that graphite is used in pencils, right? Then talc is also a mineral which is used in baby powder and also in gymnastics. The sports person should be knowing this, that in gymnastics the talc is used to grip the bars so that they can play very well, right? In the same way, there is one more example like quartz. Quartz is also a mineral which is used as gems. It is used in making soap, prisms, lenses, glass, paints, and also it is used in radios, televisions, watches, clocks and computers, right? So these are some of the minerals which we have discussed. There are many minerals which we use in our daily life, right? So we can say that our earth's crust is made up of rocks and minerals are also used by us, right? So we discussed about the minerals, and we also discussed that our earth is made up of rocks. So let's study about the different types of rocks of which our earth is made up of. Yes, so different types of rocks are actually the materials which we use every day are made up of different kinds of rocks, right? And you know that each kind of rock is made up of different mineral, right? So depending upon the type of their formation, how the rocks are forming by themselves in a natural way, they are divided into three groups, and they are igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic rocks, right? So in this session we are going to discuss about one such group of rocks, and they are igneous rocks, right? So let's start with the first type of rock. Yes, igneous rocks. All the rocks on the earth were initially igneous in nature. As you know that you can see in this picture, yes, igneous means fire, right? So we can say that all the rocks on the earth were initially fiery or igneous in nature. Igneous means fire, always remember, right? So this is a picture of such type of layers from which igneous rocks are formed, right? So let's discuss about the formation of igneous rocks, how they formed on the earth's crust. Yes, the formation took place in this way, that the earth's core is actually made up of molten rock. Molten means hot and liquid. So first, initially the rocks were in hot and liquid state, right? And as you know that the earth's core is made up of molten rock. It is now also made up of molten rock. It is very hot and liquid, as we saw in the picture of the earth's core, right? So when a volcano erupts, this molten rock flows out. It flows out, and what happens? Whenever it flows out, it cools down after some time and solidifies to form some rocks which are known as igneous rock. So we can say that inside the earth, that is the core, the earth's core, molten rock is called as magma because it is liquid in state, and whenever it flows out onto the surface, that means when it cools, when it erupts out, it is called as lava. Means the state, that kind of state in which the volcano or the molten rock has flown out, but it has not been cooled yet, or it is not solidified. So before that solidification of the molten rock, that is termed as lava, right? So always remember that igneous rocks were formed in this way, right? And they are still forming in this way. The earth's core is already made up of hot and liquid rock. When a volcano erupts, this molten rock flows out. It later cools down and solidifies to form igneous rock, right? And molten rock inside the earth, that is the earth core, is termed as magma. But when it flows out of this core, that is onto the surface, it is called as lava. So let's see the picture of magma and lava. Yes, this is the picture. The left one is the picture of magma, and this right one is the picture of lava, right? So there is not much difference between both of them, because the earth's core, when it is inside the earth, it is known as magma, and that same molten liquid or the hot and liquid rock is known as lava when it is flown out, right? So this is the thing which cools down. The lava cools down and then solidifies to form igneous rocks. So in short, we can say that igneous rocks formed as liquid magma cools, forming crystal structured rocks, and igneous rocks that form deep within the earth's crust where temperatures are very high might take thousands of years to cool down, and this causes the crystals to be much larger, as in the case of the examples of igneous rocks like granite. So igneous rocks formed on the surface cool down in just few hours, or we can say that it might take thousands of years depending upon the temperature, whether they are very high or very low, right? So almost 95% of our Earth's crust is made up of igneous rocks. That means the crystalline structured rocks, and these contain minerals such as mica, feldspar and magnesium, right? So there are some of the examples of igneous rocks which we are going to discuss, and they are granite, then granite, then pumice, and then obsidian, right? So let's first discuss about granite. Yes, it is a very hard igneous rock, that means crystalline structured rock, that has been formed by the slow cooling of lava. As we discussed, that when the molten rock flows out onto the surface, it is known as lava, and we saw the picture also. So when this lava cools down and solidifies, it forms igneous rock, right? So this is one such example, that is granite, which is formed by the slow cooling of lava, and it forms a very hard igneous rock. And when it is formed, it looks like this, right? So this is a picture of one such granite. It is used extensively as a building material, and we also see polished granite on the kitchen counters or floors, etc. The white colored granite, black colored granite, right? So you can also see such type of example of granite at your home also. In your kitchen there would be a black color granite or white color or any other kind or any other color, right? So it is available in many colors and patterns. This is one such picture of granite. There are many other, they are also available in other colors also, right? So granite is a natural source of radiation too, like most of the natural stones occur, right? So always remember that granite is a very hard stone, and that is why it is used as a building material. Because for building because for building anything, we need to have a very hard stone, and that is why granite is very extensively used, right? So let's move on to another example of igneous rock. Right, it is obsidian. It also forms by the quick cooling of lava, and it is very smooth and glassy. So this is another such example, but its property is very different from the granite, right? Granite is not smooth and glassy, but obsidian is such a type of igneous rock which is smooth and glassy. As you can see in the picture, it also has some of the shine. It is usually black or dark colored, and it is used in making jewelry and ornaments. Because of its luster, because of its smoothness, because of its glassiness, it is used in making jewelry and ornaments, and it is very, very fine, right? That is why it is used in such things. Alright, so this is also one such example of igneous rock. Let's move on to another example of igneous rocks. Yes, the third one is pumice. It is porous, or it is full of holes. As you can see here in this picture, it is formed from the lava that is frothy with a lot of air within it. Frothy means foam, right? It is not totally made up of the molten or the liquid lava, right? It is made from the lava only, but that lava, that part of lava which is very frothy, which is foamy, like whenever you take a bath and you apply soap on yourself, what happens? Yes, foam appears, right? So this foamy or this frothy lava with a lot of air within it is the property of a pumice, and because of this property it makes it very light in weight, and that is why it is used in making lightweight building materials like concrete blocks, right? And it is also used in polishes as abrasive and polishes, pencil erasers. It is also used to remove dead cells from the skin and is also used to remove excess hairs from the skin, right? Why? Because it is very light in weight and it has a lot of air within it, right? So these are some of the examples of igneous, these are some of the examples which are made from the igneous rocks. So I hope that you are clear with this session and you enjoyed this session, right? And you studied and understand about igneous rocks. In the next session we will continue with other types of rocks. Till then, keep learning, keep enjoying. Thank you, children.